computer. So you should see something that says that it's recording. So you have to say like that it's okay that you record. So whenever I record, it only shows me. If you talk, you'll be able to hear yourself on the recording, but you shouldn't see yourself. I mean, the videos in the past hasn't swapped videos. It's just been me. So like I was saying, the type of Tai Chi that we do is Dr. Paul Lamb's Tai Chi for fall prevention and arthritis. It's evidence-based, proven to help you with those two things. That doesn't mean that's the only thing that will help you with. There's lots of benefits of Tai Chi. So you want to identify why you're taking Tai Chi. Now, you could want to take it for all the reasons, all the benefits of Tai Chi. You might like all the list of Tai Chi, and that, or all of the list of the benefits, and that's great. You can get all the benefits, even if it's not your main goal to receive those benefits, but you just want to identify, why am I taking this class? And it could just be because you want to get on class with other people and just be engaged with other people. And so that's a great reason too, because that helps with kind of a social isolation that some of us have experienced because of the pandemic. When our world got kind of shut down, we were at home. And if you already lived by yourself, then you really were at home. So you could get lonely. And so this is just a way to connect to other people. So some of the benefits, just to go over the list, is that it helps reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. Probably my number one reason for taking and practicing Tai Chi is to reduce the stress, because in my life, everything is go, go, go all the time. Just 90 to nothing, always doing something, always have a to-do list, always have something going on. And so when I can pull myself in, make myself slow down and breathe and just go slow, it has a way of relaxing me. So that doesn't take away my stress. It doesn't take away my to-do list, but it gives me a break from it. And so that's my main reason. My second reason is prevention of falls. So now I'm 44 years old. I'll have my birthday next month. I'll be 45. And so I have really good balance now. And so I want to always have good balance. And so when we in Tai Chi class, we do what we call weight transfer. And so we have, let me adjust my camera. We, like right now, I have my weight on both legs. So it's evenly distributed between my two legs. Now, if I shift my weight to my left foot, then that's a weight transfer. It's like I took all the weight from this leg and gave it to this leg. So now I can lift this foot off the ground and hold my weight on that one leg. Now that's good balance. Not everybody can do that. Let me put that foot down on the floor. I'm going to shift the weight to this leg to where I can pull that foot off the floor, or I can just leave it there. Even though that foot is on the floor, my weight is still on this right leg. This is weight transfer. And so in Tai Chi, we do a lot of weight transfer. And when we do weight transfer, it helps engage our stabilizer muscles. So our stabilizer muscles, guess what? Helps us be more stable. There's a cord in my way. Okay. Now I don't have it in my way. So it engages those stabilizer muscles to allow them to be strong. So if you think about, if you slowly shift that weight, that's almost more difficult than if you do it quickly. And so what I'm saying is, if I slowly shift my weight and lift this leg, bring it down, slowly shift the weight and lift this leg. I'm doing a kick out. My camera's not adjusted. Shift, lift, kick, shift, lift, kick. Okay, that's a slow movement. That's more difficult than if I were to do it fast, like this. That engages our muscles differently. And so some people think, oh, I don't know about Tai Chi. It don't seem like you're doing anything because you're going so slow. But that's why we do it slow, is because it engages our muscles in a different way. And so balance can be improved by doing weight transfer. So we're going to do that with our Tai Chi movements. But if our muscles are stronger, then we're going to have better balance. We're going to have better coordination as we move through life. Our muscles are going to be stronger. These are some of the benefits of Tai Chi. If our muscles are stronger, specifically the ones that surround our joints, if those muscles are stronger, then we can have relieved pain. We can have relieved pain from arthritis. So if the muscle that surrounds that joint, okay, arthritis is by definition wear and tear on the joint. And so if we have a not very strong muscle around that joint, it can easier collapse into itself, causing us more pain. But if we have strong muscles, it supports our joint a little bit better. And so therefore, we wouldn't have as much pain from the inflammation. So that is something that it's been proven to help, is the pain from arthritis. Another benefit from Tai Chi is that it can help increase our flexibility. So we're going to do, and we'll practice today doing some of our warm-up stretches. And whenever we have better flexibility in joints, in our major joints, specifically our neck, shoulders, spine, hips, knees, and ankles, then we're going to have better mobility. We're going to have reduced tension and reduced stiffness. Now, have you ever heard of somebody saying, oh, I have a tension headache, or oh, my neck is just so stiff? Some of these exercises can help relieve that tension and stress and can help you not have headaches and not have pain. So that's another benefit of Tai Chi. Also, if you continue to practice Tai Chi, then a benefit can be that you have improved stamina, which means your get up and go can get up and go a little bit longer. So you can do more stuff without wearing out. And so exercise does that for you, but that is a benefit of Tai Chi. So those are just some of the main benefits of this program. So you can want all of those, and you can get all of those just by practicing Tai Chi. But maybe you have a specific goal. And so if your specific goal is like mine, where you just need a time to relax and breathe and de-stress, then you really want to focus on the breathing. We talk about diaphragmatic breathing, and you want to focus on the slow, smooth, and continuous nature of our Tai Chi movements. And that's going to get you more of that reduced anxiety. If your goal is more about balance and falls prevention, then you really want to focus on that weight transference. So whether you're seated or standing, you can practice weight transfer. You can do it seated by pushing your feet into the floor, and that engages muscle. Or you can, let me grab this chair. Okay, I have this chair. You can hold on to your chair and skip arm movement just for the sake of safety. So this chair is your stabilizer, and you can shift your weight from leg to leg. You can do it without the chair, shifting the weight, or you can do it seated, pushing that foot into the floor. It's kind of hard to tell. You just have to trust me on this. Shifting that foot in, or pushing that foot into the floor, you can feel that muscle engaging. Push that weight into the floor, you can feel your butt kind of come off of that chair. And that's how you can practice weight transfer. So if your goal is falls prevention, better balance, then really focus on that weight transfer. Okay. So know why you're taking the class and how the different parts of the class can help you better achieve that goal. You don't have to remember all of this. There's not going to be a test. So I'll repeat a lot of it over and over throughout our time together. Now, you'll hear me talk about principles, our Tai Chi principles. So no matter what you do in class, as long as you're following the principles, you're going to get the benefits from the movements. Our principles are based around movement control, body structure, and then there's an internal piece to our Tai Chi. So in terms of movement control, that's where I talk about slow, smooth, and continuous. So we have a move where we bring our hands up, towards, away, and then we bring our hands down. Okay, so you see slow, smooth, and continuous. Obviously, I'm going slow. My movements are very smooth versus sharp. You know, they're very smooth and they're continuous. As soon as I come back, I go forward. As soon as I come out, I go down. So it's a slow, smooth, and continuous movement. So that's one of our principles within movement control. Another principle under movement control is called gentle resistance. Now, we live on Earth, so we have gravity to deal with. So gravity is what tells us how much we weigh. Gravity is what, you know, if I have weights in my hands or even no weights in my hands and I do this enough times, man, that muscle is going to start getting wore out, right? Well, that's resistance, is moving against gravity. But if you pretend in your mind that you're in water, or that the air is just specifically heavy or especially heavy, then you can create even more resistance. So if you've ever done like a water exercise, where you've exercised or been in water, if you just try to walk in water, you see there's that resistance from the weight of the water. That's really good exercise. The water's there supporting your joints, and you have the resistance of the weight of the water as you push through it. Well, you can pretend that you're in heavy air or water when you do those movements. That's called gentle resistance, and it engages muscle that you may not necessarily use. And when you're to do that movement without thinking about heavy air or water. And so gentle resistance can help increase your muscle and your strength within our Tai Chi movements. Another principle under body structure is upright posture. So that's something that I'll say every time. Upright posture. Our shoulders are back. Our spine is like a string that reaches up towards the ceiling and down to the floor. Nice, good posture, but our shoulders are still relaxed. I have a habit of pulling my shoulders up. And then before I know it, I'll start getting achy shoulders. And then I go, oh, you're holding tension in your shoulders. So I have to release my shoulders and just relax them. But at the same time, I have an upright, good posture. So I'm not slumped down. Nice, upright posture, relaxed shoulders. Another principle in our body structure is the weight transference that I talked about. We maintain an upright posture while we transfer our weight from one leg to the other. So shifting the weight, my body stays upright. Shifting the weight, my body stays upright. Now I'm going to do it wrong, okay? So a tendency may be when I shift the weight is to lean into the weight. Well, you see what happened? It tumped me over. Anytime I'm leaning, that's going towards falling. And that goes against what we're trying to do. We don't want to fall. We're trying to have better balance. We're trying not to fall. So even if the movement asks you to shift your weight, don't lean into it, or then you're more likely to fall. I got Miss Betty coming in. Let me mark her off. All right. So those are the principles of movement control and body structure. The third principle is the internal. Now, always compare this one to faith. You know, a lot of us go to church and we have faith that God is with us. We have faith in a lot of things that we learn about in church because we can't see it, right? So that's part of our faith. And so our internal experience of Tai Chi is similar to that, where the internal experience is a mental quietness that's called Jing, Jing, Jing. And it is when you can really sit and go through your movements and be quiet, which is sometimes hard to do in class because you have a teacher that just talks all the time. So this is a good time for you to on your own, have things quiet or have some soft, nice, slow music, and it can calm you on the inside. That's mental quietness, or Jing. Another internal experience with Tai Chi is called Song, and this has to do with our joints. And Song is spelled S-O-N-G, Song, open joint. And what that means is we never lock our joints. So if I'm standing here, let me do a side view. If I'm standing here, I have a soft bend in my knees. If I were to lock my joint, you see how I went from here to here? That's just a slight movement, but here my knees are locked. Here I have a soft with my arms. Here's my elbows. If I'm straight out, I'm like Frankenstein. That's a locked joint. Here is a soft joint. Miss Janice, did you ever get my voice?
I did. I'm listening.
Oh, yay! And you did it on your computer? Or did you have to call?
I did. I had something I had to do on my computer.
Yes.
So I've got you.
Well, when I saw you move and I heard a sound, I was like, yay, I think she can hear me. Okay, very good. I've been worrying. Okay, good. Oh, so nice when things work. So that's that open joint, a song. We're never Frankenstein. We're soft joint, the song joint. I'm throwing up probably a lot of information out at you right now. And those of you who've had class before, you probably think, yeah, she's right. She'll say all this stuff a lot over and over. But it's just to remind you to get the most that you can out of our Tai Chi. So what we're going to do is start with our warm-ups. And we'll do the warm-ups every single class. We do two for our neck, 2 for our shoulders, 2 for our spine, 2 for our hips, 2 for our knees, and 2 for our ankles. So we have 2 for each of our major joints. We'll do that every time just to get our bodies warmed up and ready for our Tai Chi movements. The way the class will work is we'll learn a move, we'll practice that move, and then we'll build on that. So it's a progressive class. So if you were to watch week 16 versus week 1, they look very differently. We don't do all the movements in the first class. Okay, we just start with one and build from there. And that way we feel comfortable with something before we move on to the next one. Okay, so I just let y'all be the guide. Y'all always let me know if you have any questions. When we start any type of exercise program, I mean, of course, you want to consult your doctor that it's a good program for you. In my experience with Tai Chi, if anybody tells their doctor, I'm taking Tai Chi, their doctor is so excited because they know the evidence shows of how much it can help you. So we always start off, whether you're seated or whether you're standing, walking around, open and close our hands, just warming up those joints. I like to pump my arms. Now, if I were in a classroom setting, then I would be walking around the room. But because I try to stay in a camera view, I walk forwards and backwards. I don't typically recommend walking backwards because you don't have eyes in the back of your head. Now, don't tell my kids that because they think that I do. So, but I can, when I'm watching myself in the video, I can see what's behind me. I see that there's that chair back there, so I'm not gonna back into it. But I'm just walking around, opening and closing my hands, kind of pumping my elbows. Whether I'm seated or standing, you can sit in a chair and you can march in place. But the point is to get your bodies warmed up. Now, this morning is a kind of, and so our bodies will kind of react to the weather that's outside. And so when it's the summertime, our bodies will naturally be warmer to start off with. So when it's cold outside, you just really want to take that extra time to get your bodies warmed up. Okay. I always have my water nearby anytime I'm doing exercise. Now, all the classes will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So you have the ability to go to my YouTube class and rewatch classes, old, new, as well as watch the tutorials that are on that page and can help you practice our different movements. All right, so let's get started with our major joint stretches and warm-ups. So first we want to talk about our body structure, where our feet are about shoulder width or hip width apart. So see, if I were to put my feet real close together, that doesn't feel very stable. It's like if you had a dining room table and all the legs were in the middle, then that table would fall over, right? So they got to spread those legs out a little bit to help that table be more stable. And so that's what we do when we do in Tai Chi. We make ourselves a table, widening our stance a little bit. I like my feet a little further than hip width apart. You kind of play around with your foot placement to see what feels most comfortable for you. So you might like yours a little closer to each other. Now my feet are hip width apart, and I have that soft bend in my knees. So I don't have my knees locked. It's just a soft bend. I'm not squatted down. I just have the soft bend so that I have those open joints in my knee. That's how we hold our bodies, as well as our upright posture, like I talked about, where we have our shoulders back, but they're relaxed. And our spine, like I said, is like a string that pulls up to the ceiling and down towards the floor. That's our nice, upright, relaxed posture. So that's where we start with. And that's kind of our goal throughout our Tai Chi moves, is to be in this stance. There will be some variations as we do foot movement, but we always want to keep this upright posture. Every now and again, just check in with yourself. That's what I have to do, because sometimes I'll catch myself pulling my shoulders up a little bit and reminding myself to relax those shoulders. We all have certain habits, and we just have to start being aware of what our habits are. So that's our body structure. And now we're going to start with our hand movement. So right now our hands are to our sides. We're going to bring our hands up, our palms are down, and we're going to go until we're about shoulder height. We're not going to go any further. We're going to only come up to about shoulder height. Now we're going to turn our hands and comes towards our face, our chin and our chest right here. We're not going to be up here covering our eyes. We're going to be down here near our chin and chest. We're not going to hit ourselves in the face. Before we do that, we're going to turn our hands around and push those hands away from us. So remember, I talked about open joints. We're not going to go Frankenstein. We're going to keep a soft bend. So when we push those hands out, we stop going out before we go all the way out. Okay, so we never lock our joints in Tai Chi. And then we're going to bring those hands down. Now, as we bring those hands down, our eyes are going to follow our hands like that. What that just did was took our chin towards our chest. So when you take your chin towards your chest, you feel a little stretch in the back of your neck, right? So this is our first neck warm up. The hands make it Tai Chi, but the neck is what's important for this stretch. So let's put it together where we bring those hands up towards our chin and chest. We push away from our bodies, and then we follow those hands all the way down, chin towards our chest. All right, let's do it again. Bring those hands up towards our chin and chest. Push away from our body and follow those hands all the way down. So you probably feel your neck and maybe some of your shoulders right here stretching as you put your chin towards your chest. Up, towards, push away, and follow those hands all the way down, chin to chest. That's our first neck exercise. If you want to, okay, maybe that's new. Never done that before, and you might have said, or you might have held your breath the whole time you just did that. When we learn something new, we tend to hold our breath. So what I want you to do this time is breathe. When you bring your hands up, I want you to breathe in or inhale. And then when you get your hands up, I want you to exhale. Finish out that movement with an exhale. So we inhale as we come up, and then we exhale through the rest of that movement, chin to chest here. Now you might have thought, that was too long to exhale, or I wasn't done inhaling by the time that I brought my hands up. You breathe at your own pace. All of us have different lung capacities. So if you're a person who sings in the choir, you're going to have more lung capacity. Your breathing is going to be different than somebody who just got over bronchitis. So that you just listen to your body. That's the message I always want you to in class, is listen to your body. So if I tell you to do something and you say, I don't want to do that, or I don't like the way that makes me feel, or hey, I've been doing this for 15 minutes and I'm a little bit tired, we'll take a break. Okay, so don't push yourself beyond your comfort level ever in this class. Always listen to your body. But I do want you to breathe. That pace feels most comfortable for you. as you go through that neck movement. Excuse me. Bring those hands up. Here. Push away. And follow those hands all the way down. One more time. That's our first neck one. Now our next neck one starts out the same way. We bring those hands up towards our chin and chest. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to drop one hand down here by our hip. Now it doesn't matter which hand because we're going to do the other hand in a minute. But notice how it's down by my hip and it's engaged. It's not just flapping around down there, just hanging out. It's engaged. All right, so this hand that's still up here by our face, we are going to turn our head towards our shoulder, and that hand is going to be like a mirror that we're looking in as we turn our head. Then we're going to bring that hand back to the front. Now let's switch hands. Now we're going to follow that hand as we look towards that other shoulder. And back to the front. And switch. So only go towards that shoulder until you feel a little bit of a stretch or resistance. And then come back to the front. Switch hands. Go to the other side. This is working on the flexibility of your neck. The more you work on the flexibility of your neck, you're going to improve your mobility. This one specifically makes me think about driving. So when you drive, you have to look over in the other lane to make sure you can get over safely. And you can't look over to the other lane if you can't move your neck. So this movement right here is good for neck mobility. The more I do this, the less stiff my neck is going to be. Those are our 2 neck exercises. So let's review. We bring that up towards our chin and chest, push away from our bodies, and then we follow those hands all the way down. Feel a little stretch in the back of your neck. Bring those hands up. Remember to breathe. In, push out, and follow those hands all the way down. Now for our other neck exercise, we bring our hands up towards our chin and chest. Now let's drop one hand and follow this one as we look towards that shoulder, keeping our bodies facing forward. We're only moving that head, bringing the hand back to the front, switching hands, and going to that other side, stretching that neck, back to the front. Let's do one more on each side. Switch hands, follow to the other side, and back. Last one, switch hands, follow that hand to the towards the shoulder, bring it to the front and down. All right, now let's move to our shoulders. Does anybody have any questions about the neck exercises? Hey, Miss Betty, I see you now. I didn't see you before.
Hey, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Any questions about that neck exercise? Are y'all good? All right. So the next thing, I don't know what that sound is. Let me just push everybody on mute. All right, I put everybody on mute. Okay, so the next thing is our shoulders. And so again, upright posture, holding our feet about shoulder width apart. Our hands are to our side, and we're going to roll those shoulders forward. So it's like a little circle. Roll those shoulders forward. Roll. Now let's roll them back. Roll them back. I like to do things in threes and roll it back. Doesn't that feel good? It's like a little massage we give ourselves. So we roll forward and we roll back. I like that one. That's the first one for our shoulder. The second one for our shoulder, our hands start out to our the sides of our body again. We're going to turn our palms up, and we're going to come up about shoulder height. Then we're going to turn our hands and arms down in front of us and push down. Again, this is for that mobility of our shoulder joint. So we come up, palms up, and push down, palms down. Up and down. So let's talk about breathing here. Inhale as you bring those hands up, and you exhale as you push those hands down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. This is a great movement to help reduce anxiety and stress. If you're ever worked up about something, come to a place where you can either sit or stand and just bring those hands up, inhale and exhale down. You probably can feel yourself relaxing the more you do that shoulder exercise. So we've learned our 2 neck warm-up stretches and our 2 shoulders. So we went here to here. The next one is our spine. Now our spinal warm-up, I always say it involves a ball. So we're holding this invisible ball. So our hands are facing each other just like this. Now my ball is down here right in front of my belly. I'm not going to hold my ball up like this because that put tension in my shoulders. You probably saw my shoulders rise up whenever I brought my ball. So I want my shoulders to stay relaxed. So my ball is going to be wherever my hands are when my shoulders are relaxed, if that makes sense. So I'm here, my shoulders are nice and relaxed. I'm holding this ball. So there's 2 ways that we can stretch our spine, and that's vertically and horizontally. So up and down and side to side. So the first one we're going to do is vertically. The hand on top of our ball is going to push down towards the ground. Now, when I pushed it down towards the ground, see, there's still that soft bend in my elbow. I still had that open song joint. I didn't lock my elbow down. I kept that song joint. So the hand on top of the ball pushes down towards the ground. And the hand on the bottom of the ball comes up. And I think about my spine. Obviously, my spine's not in the front of my body. It's in the back. But I follow where my spine is. And then I turn my hand up and push up towards the ceiling. So I'm going to push up and down at the same time. This hand on top of the ball pushes down, and the hand on bottom of the ball comes up and pushes up. Notice again, soft bend in that elbow. So I'm stretching my spine. Now come back to my ball. Now we're going to switch. Now the other hand is going to go down while the other hand goes up. Okay. Now if you don't follow that spine perfectly, that's okay. I just try to think about that spine as I stretch. Since that's what I'm stretching in this movement is my spine, I try to connect my hand movement to my spine. Here, switch. Stretching that spine. Come back to our ball and switch. You know, you get out of bed in the morning and you typically go, oh, stretch. You probably do lock your joints whenever you do it. In Tai Chi, we don't lock our joints, but maybe in real life, you do a stretch that looks similar to that for the exact reason why we do it in Tai Chi, and that's to stretch your back. So that's our first back spinal stretch that stretches our spine vertically. Now let's stretch it horizontally. So come back to our ball. The hand that's on top is the direction we're going to go, and we're going to turn our bodies to that direction. Now notice my legs stay forward. My legs didn't move. Only the top part of my body moved with my hands. Then I switch my hands. Then I bring it back across. So I'm kind of taking that ball for a ride from side to side. I'm not going as far as I can go. I'm just going to where I'll stop just above that leg and turn. If we were to go too far, we may overstrain our back. If you're standing, you may pull at your knee. Sometimes I think that's what's hard about Tai Chi, is that we're so ingrained to do everything more and better and faster that we forget that slowing down is a good thing. Doing less is a good thing. And in Tai Chi, that's what I like, is we can actually slow down, go side to side, and not go way over here and set ourselves up for injury. All right, I'm gonna ask to unmute y'all, if y'all can unmute yourself. Okay, so now we've learned our neck and 2 for our shoulders and 2 for our spine. Those are warm-ups that we'll do every time. Typically, we'll do more in a class as we get through. It's always when we get started, it takes more time so that I make sure that y'all are learning the principles and doing it correctly and safely before we start going faster through our movements. So just know class will progress as we go through. Then we learn 2 for our spine, vertically and to stretch it horizontally. Next week, we will do the ones for our hips, our knees, and our ankles. So those will be all of our warm-ups, and we'll learn those next week, and then we'll do those every time as we learn our Tai Chi movement. So what I want you to do between now and next Tuesday is think about these movements. If you really want to be big time, practice these movements. Even if you only remember one, or you can go to the YouTube page and pick up on this class and rewatch this part, or specifically go to the neck, shoulders, and spine warm-ups to practice those movements. I would like for you to do that. And I would like for you to practice simple weight transfer. Keeping your body upright as you shift weight to one leg. Even if you leave that foot on the floor, you don't have to lift it. Even if you're holding to a chair for stability, shift the weight. Shift the weight. I want you to practice some weight transfer, because we're going to be doing that next week as we learn our lower body warm-up stretches. Okay? At the end of each class, we always do what's called a cool down, and it starts with I call it a fist massage. I just taken my fist and I'm kind of punching my thighs. This actually breaks up lactic acid. So sometimes you may get sore muscles, and the reason why they're sore is because of a lactic acid buildup. And this right here breaks up that lactic acid so you're not sore. All right, the next thing we do is we tense our bodies up. We create tension. That goes against everything in Tai Chi. And then we purposely let it go. So we know how much better it feels to let go of tension. Tense up, and we let it go. Tense up, and we let it go. Now let's do a big shoulder circle again. We did learn that one today where we push down, palms down, come up, palms up, palms down, push down. One more, and push down. And then at the very end of class, we make a right fist. And that fist represents our strength. Our other hand, our fingers are all together right here. That represents our friendship. We bring our thumb in, and that represents our humility. So we have strength, friendship, and humility. We put those hands together, and in mutual respect, we say namaste. Namaste is spelled
Namaste.
Namaste is spelled N-A-M-A-S-T-E. Namaste. And so that's just when I say everything in me respects everything in you. And that doesn't mean that we are different. I mean, we can believe different than each other. We can think differently than each other, but we can be respectful and kind to each other. So that's what namaste means, is everything in me respects everything in you. So it is 11:04. I don't know how an hour passed. I mean, I know we had some trouble with people coming in and the sound, and you know, it'll get better as we all get used to this process. It's new. Some people have never done Zoom before and don't know, and definitely haven't done Tai Chi before. So y'all have any questions or anything to share as we close?
No questions, but I really enjoyed it. Very informative and seems like going to be very helpful and beneficial for me.
Oh, definitely. And you know, you watch some of the old videos, so you know, as we go through class, and Miss Betty, you've been in class, you know that we do more in a class as we get through. So just be patient with you, be patient with me, and you have my contact information. If you have any questions in the meantime, call me or email me, whatever's easiest for you. And if we don't have any other questions, then we'll close. Miss Mary, I will get you changed to the 1:30 class. And but y'all let me know if you have any other questions, okay? All right. Love y'all. Have a great day.
Love you. Bye-bye. Have
Bye.
a great
You
day.
too.
Stop recording.